very good question. Is our Earth getting closer to the sun, or is it getting farther away from the sun? And will this change in distance affect our planet's climate? The sun moves in such a predictable way across the sky that you might never suspect that its relationship with the Earth is changing all the time. In fact, the average distance between Earth and the sun is not static year over year. So, do we know if Earth is getting closer or farther from the sun? And what forces are acting on our planet and our star to make this happen? In short, the sun is getting farther away from the Earth over time. Okay, so the sun is getting farther away from the Earth over time. On average, Earth is about 93 million miles or 150 million kilometers from the sun, according to NASA. However, its orbit is not perfectly circular. It's slightly elliptical or oval shaped, and this means Earth's distance from the sun can range from about 91.4 million to 94.5 million miles. NASA says, still on average, the expanse between Earth and the sun is slowly increasing over time. This growing distance has two major causes. One is that the sun is losing mass. The other involves the same forces that cause tides on Earth. The sun is shrinking. The nuclear fusion reaction that powers the sun converts mass to energy, following the Einstein famous equation E equals mc2, E equals mc squared. Because the sun is constantly producing energy, it's also steadily losing its mass. Over the course of the sun's remaining lifetime, estimates at another 5 billion years or so, according to NASA, models of how stars evolve over time predict the sun will lose about 0.1% of its total mass before it begins to die. This is according to Brian DiGiorgio, astronomer at University of California, Santa Cruz. Although the 0.1% may not sound like a lot, this is a lot of mass, DiGiorgio said. It's about the same amount of mass as Jupiter. Jupiter, in turn, is about 318 times Earth's mass, according to the Exploratorium in California. The strength of an object's gravitational pull is proportional to how much mass it has. Because the sun is losing mass, its pull on Earth is weakening, leading our planet to drift away from our star. Okay, look at this, at about 2.4 inches, 6 centimeters every single year, DiGiorgio said. But we should not throw the sun a bon voyage party just yet. He said it's pretty negligible, especially compared to the normal variation in Earth's orbital distance that happens because of its slightly elliptical orbit, about 3 degrees. Now, the effects of the tides. Just as the moon's gravitational pull results in tides on Earth, so does Earth's gravity tug on the sun. This stretches the side of the sun that faces the Earth, resulting in tidal bulge. Britt Schankhausen, associate professor of physics and astronomy at Below College in Wisconsin, wrote for Cornell University, Ask an Astronomer page. The sun rotates on its axis about once every 27 days, according to NASA, because this is faster than the 365 or so days it takes the Earth to complete an orbit around the sun. The tidal bulge Earth generates on the sun sits ahead of Earth. The bulge's mass has a gravitational pull associated with it, tugging Earth ahead on its orbit and slinging it farther from the sun, Scharnhausen noted. A similar effect is leading Earth's moon to slowly drift away from our planet. However, these tidal forces have a very weak effect on Earth's orbit. They cause Earth to move about 0.0001 inch away from the sun every year, DiGiorgio concluded. Any major change in climate? Might Earth's growing distance from the sun influence Earth's climate? DiGiorgio said, as the Earth moves away from the sun's light will become dimmer. Given that Earth's distance from the sun may grow by 0.2% over the next 5 billion years, the dimming corresponds to 0.4% reduction of solar energy hitting the Earth's surface, he said. This is relatively small compared to the normal variations in the sun's brightness that happen due to the Earth's elliptical orbit, so it's not much to worry about. The bigger thing to worry about is that as the sun evolves over the next 5 billion years, stellar evolution models predict that it will increase in brightness about 6% every 1 billion years, slowly increasing Earth's temperature and boiling off the oceans, he says. This will render the Earth uninhabitable to humans long before the sun ever potentially swallows it. Rogue influence? Recent work suggests that orbits of Jupiter and other planets in the solar system have changed over time. So could their orbits grow unstable enough one day to one day influence Earth's orbit, hurling it closer to or farther from the sun? Or might some other rogue body pass close enough to the solar system to have a similar effect? I guess here they're trying to remind us of Planet X, Nibiru, Nemesis, Wormwood, whatever. Now, the problem with trying to predict the gravitational interactions of many body systems like the solar system or nearby stars is that they are chaotic, meaning they're impossible to predict with any certainty, DiGiorgio says. We have no idea where, specifically, the planets will be on timescales longer than around 100 million years because of tiny errors in measurement and perturbations from unmodeled interactions grow too large over time. Still, we can use this chaos to our advantage by running many simulations of the same chaotic system to see what the probability of an event occurring is, Giorgio said. This is similar to how predictive weather models work, he said. In 2009, a study in the journal Nature that performed about 2,500 simulations of the solar system found that in about 1% of them, Mercury's orbit became unstable, causing it to crash into either the Sun or Venus. Oh my goodness. So it is theoretically possible for Mercury to move by the Earth and change its orbit substantially as it did to Mars in one simulation, DiGiorgio said. This is very unlikely, though, as seen by its rarity in their simulations. It's also very unlikely that a passing star, planet, or other body may perturb Earth's orbit, DiGiorgio said. My back-of-the-envelope calculations say that we should only expect a star to come closer than the orbit of Pluto about once every trillion years. He said any comets already in our solar system won't have enough mass or energy to affect our orbit sustainability either. Now, the sun's death, in about 5 billion years after the sun exhausts its hydrogen fuel, it will begin to bloat, become a red giant star. Assuming Earth continues uninterrupted on its course, it will have grown far away enough away from the dying sun to survive our sun's death throes? Will it have grown? There is currently some disagreement about how much the sun will swell during its red giant phase, DiGiorgio said. There's a chance it will not puff out enough to reach Earth, meaning our planet may survive and continue to orbit. However, most estimates suggest the sun will grow enough to swallow Earth, leading the planet to spiral inwards towards oblivion, DiGiorgio said. However, even if the Earth survives, there is no chance that humans would be able to survive this. The heat and radiation from the encroaching sun would not only boil the oceans and atmosphere, but it would probably boil the Earth itself. Humans would have to leave the flaming lava ball long before it ever got swallowed. If humans are still around 5 billion years from now and wanted Earth to remain habitable during the sun's expansion, we would have to slowly move our planet outwards to rotate around the orbit of Saturn, keeping it at temperature enough for life as we know it as the sun continued to outpour more and more energy. This is pretty impractical, though, DiGiorgio said. The easier solution would be just to abandon Earth and find another planet or solar system to live in. This is by Charles Q. Choi on Life Science. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. I did, a couple of days back, upload a video concerning one of the last interviews Nikola Tesla had concerning the abilities of moving the planet Earth into some other part of the solar system and also in the universe using the electric universe model. So please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.